Hello, let's get right to it. This is the Adobe Illustrator Type Tool Worksheet. First thing you need to do here when you open the file, you'll download it from your Google Drive or Google Classroom, is read the directions as you go through them and do them in order. That's going to help a lot. So the first direction is click the three dots at the bottom of the toolbar. That's referring to these three dots right here. And you're going to drag all of the type tools up to your toolbar and stack them on top of the toolbar, or the T tool, I'm sorry. This way you can use them for your worksheet. Remember to use the spacebar to move around the artboard to each exercise. So what I mean by that is using spacebar will automatically turn your tool into a hand, and you can drag it around like this. I also think it would be very helpful for you to zoom in about that close as you work on one, do it, and then move to the next one, and so forth. Okay, that way you can really see what you're doing. Don't try to do them this far back or you're going to have trouble seeing what you're doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to the three dots at the bottom of the toolbar and drag all the type tools up onto the T tool. So this is the T tool. If I hover over it, you can see that's the type tool. I call it the T tool. It could also be called the type tool. Enter the text at a point or in a container. So in this case, you're going to be using both of those ways of doing it. And here's the three dots. So I'm going to click on the three dots. And if you scroll down, you'll see the word type. And you can see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different type type tools in here. So I'm going to just drag them onto my T tool. Some of them are grayed out already, meaning they're already there. Others are white, so those mean that they have not been added yet. So now these are all gray, which means I have them all. I'm going to click the three dots to make that go away. And now if I click on my T tool and hold down, you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of type tools in here that I'm going to try. Okay, now I'm ready to go. I'm going to start with number 1. And here it is. So type on an open path, and then the directions are right here. Draw a path with the pen tool and then use the type on a path T tool. So I'm just going to use my regular old pen tool, and I'm just going to draw a path, and I'm going to push escape to let go. And then notice that it was filling the path as I drew it. I can easily switch that by just going over here to my toolbar and switching this from being the fill to the stroke. So now I've got a path. And then I want to use my type on a path T tool. So I'm going to the T tool, hold down on it, find the one that says type on a path, and come over here and click on the path and type. That's it. All right, moving on to number 2. Space bar, so I can move down. Type on a closed path. So this one says draw a circle with the ellipse tool and use the type on a path T tool. All right, so I'm going to first draw a circle. I'm going to use the ellipse tool, which is underneath the rectangle tool. So here's my ellipse tool. I'm going to drag a circle. I'm going to make sure that it has a stroke with no fill. And then I'm going to use my type tool to type on a path. Oops, not that one. There we go, type on a path. Click here, type. Done. All right, going to number 3. This one, you're going to also use a circle. So I'm going to use the ellipse tool. Make sure that it has no fill. There should be a space there. Use the type on a path T tool and zoom in because we're going to need this next moment to be zoomed in. So I'm going to type on the path. And in this one, I'm just going to try to do like half. And then I'm going to use my white arrow, which is my direct select arrow tool, and drag the little lines to make the text flip. So when I click on the white arrow, you'll notice that the little lines show up. I'm talking about these little lines right here. When you drag that one over, you've got a start and a finish point. You can see when you hover over them that they give you a little left and right pointing arrow. And then this one at the top, which ends up being in the middle once you reset these. See that? is the one you're going to flip with. So as I pull this one down, you can see that it flips the text up or down. Okay, so this is right here. This is where I want. And I am done. I'm going to move up to number 4. Okay, vertical type. Use the vertical type tool. Super easy. I'm just going to go into my T tool, to find the one that says vertical type tool, click, type. Click, type, click. Oop, I got off the tool. Vertical type tool. Click, type. Okay, that's it. I'm going to clean that up a little. Went a little too far. All right, next, number 5. This one I'm going to draw a path with the pen tool and then use the vertical, that's spelled wrong, vertical type tool, vertical type on a path tool. This one is one of the ones that was under the 3 dots that we added. So I'm going to first draw that path. Again, I don't care if the path is 100% like this one. As long as it's a path with no fill, you'll be fine. And I'm looking for the vertical type on a path tool. There it is. And click on the path and type. There we go. Number 6. This one is the area type tool. You want to draw a shape with the pen tool, and then you're going to use the area type tool to fill it in. This was another one that you added with the 3 dots. So first thing I'm going to do is use my pen tool and just draw kind of an abstract shape there. Make sure it has no fill. And then I'm going to use the area type tool, where it is right there. And I'm going to click, and there we go. Type to fill the area. Okay. And now we're going to go up to number 7. Now this one I'm going to change a little bit because we're going to be using the character window to do this one. So I'm going to go to Window, Type, and Character. So up here at the very top, you will see Window, Type, Character. That's what you need to open for these next 3, 7, 8, and 9. You're then going to come back here and open up Paragraph for 10, 11, 12. But right now we need Character. There it is. I'm going to move it off to the side a little. And notice when I snug it against the side, it turns blue. That'll stick it right there on the side, which is great to have it there conveniently. So first one you're going to do is adjust your leading to 35 points. It says right there. So I'm going to take this text and I'm going to click over here in my character panel, and I want to adjust my leading here. And I'm going to put this at 35 and push enter. And there it goes. Okay. For this next one, we're going to adjust the kerning. But remember, to adjust your kerning, you have to put the cursor in between the letters first, then adjust the kerning in the character panel. So I'm going to first go back to using my regular type tool here, my T tool, and then I'm just going to set the cursor right there where I want it, and I'm going to adjust my kerning, which is this one right here, and I'm just going to use the arrows so that I can see how close I'm getting this, and I think I also need to adjust in between the O and the V, so I'm going to make that a little smaller. I'm looking to match this one here. And I think I also need to adjust a little bit between the V and the E. Something like that. You can also adjust these two, maybe this one a little bit too, but that's how you do it. You set the cursor there first, then you adjust using your character panel. All right, number 9. This one I think is going to be weird because I could not leave this the way it needed to be for you. So let me try, because I think this needs to be in a bounding box, and I don't think it is. So let's try it. We're going to adjust, the tracking. The tracking will be fine. This one will work. It's the justification one later on that's not going to work for us. So adjust the tracking at 255 points. So I click on this to select it, and I'm going to come over here to my tracking, and I'm going to set it at 255. push enter, and there it is. And just recenter it over here so it doesn't go off the page. Okay, up to number 10. This one's the one I was telling you about. You're going to use your paragraph window. So that is window, type, and paragraph. And you'll notice that it actually was here all along. It was right behind the character tab up here. So here's your paragraph window. So I'm going to use this one for 10, 11, 12. So this one says, adjust this to be right aligned. Okay, this will work just fine. So here's my text. It's selected, and I'm just going to say right aligned. Boom, done. Now I'm going to go down to number 11, and it says adjust this to be center aligned. Again, select it first so it knows what you want to center align, and center align. Done. Number 12, adjust a full justified. Hint, you have to pull a text box first. Actually, I already pulled the text box for you. Here it is. So all you have to do with this is, boom, push fully justified. Justify all lines. And we are good. Let's go on to these last three. Okay, these last three, you're using a completely different tool for each one. These are new tools that we haven't used before, and they're really fun. So I wanted you to get a chance to try them out. The touch type tool. This type is going to move, or this tool is going to move around individual letters for you and still be editable. So the first thing you need to do is you actually need to type a word. So I'm just going to use my regular T tool, click. I am not dragging a text box here. I'm just clicking, and I'm going to write a word, and I'm going to select that word just by dragging my cursor over the whole word, and I'm going to change my text to something big. So impact is a very big font that I know I can really see. It's big and bold, and I'm going to stretch that out. Now I'm going to use the touch type tool. Okay, so you had to kind of prep that a little bit first on your own. So the touch type tool falls underneath the type tool. Hold down on it, and you'll find it at the bottom there. It says touch type tool. So there it is. Whoops. And watch what happens when you click a letter. It selects each letter individually. So I can click a letter and I can move it. I can twist it. I can snug it up in there and then move the rest of these guys over. And the cool thing about this tool is that when you go back and you use your regular type tool, you can still type with it. Like, it's still editable. It's not frozen as shapes. It still sees it as type. So that's great for that tool. So play with that one. Just see what you can do with it so you understand that tool. Next is the blend tool. Now, the blend tool is not a type tool, but it can do some really cool things for type. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to use the blend tool, and you're going to double click in the gray workspace out here to get the blend tool options to show up. Then you're going to click on both words in order to get it to apply. So I'm going to come over here, and I'm looking for my blend tool, and that's what it's right there. It looks like 3 different shapes, a square and 2 circles. So if I click on that, and you can see in the little preview there, it shows you how to use it. So I click on that to select the tool, and I'm holding it in my hands now. And then I'm just going to click in the gray no man's land here. Oh, actually, I'm going to click on the tool itself. Oof, I got to change those directions. All right, you're going to double click on the tool itself, and you will see your blend options come up. So you've got smooth color or specified steps. So in this case, it's asking you to set your steps to 50. So I'm going to say specified steps to 50 and say OK. And now I'm just going to click on this pink word and click on the black word, and there it is. Okay, easy to do. You could also click on the black word first and then the pink word. It's going to work pretty much the same. So you're good. The only difference between the one that you see over here and the one that you just did is that the word cake, then they took a 3rd copy of the word and put it on top of here. So if you wanted to do that, you could. I'm going to just take the word cake, make copy, paste, and make that off to the side. And then I'm going to make this one just a little bit lighter, like that. And so that now I'll go back to my blend tool, and I'll blend these two. And then if I take this one that I made a copy of and put it on top, it just makes it pop a little bit more. So it's really fun to play with. So play with that one. Try the different options. Again, that's a double click on the actual blend tool itself to get those options. Last one is this. This is when you expand text and then alter it with a pencil tool. So this one's really fun. I'm going to use my T tool at first. All right. And I'm going to type a word in a bold font. So I'm just going to click here and I'm going to say fun. And that is an impact font because it's a nice big font. So I'm going to stretch that up now. So there's my word. Now I have to object expand. So while it is selected, I'm now going to go up to the word object and I'm going to say expand. And it's going to ask me like, what do you want to expand? I say yes, object and fill. Okay. And you'll notice that now it no longer sees it as text. It now sees it as shapes here. Okay. And now I'm going to use the pencil tool and I'm going to add some cool things to the text. I also am saying to watch this video if you need help with it. All right. So I'm going to go to my pencil tool, which falls below my paintbrush tool. So hold down on the paintbrush tool and find the pencil tool. There it is. And all I'm going to do, now that didn't work. And the reason why is because I didn't have the F selected first. So I need to have it selected first. And the key with this tool is you kind of start along the edge and then you end along an edge. Now that didn't work either because you can see, watch, if I do this wrong, see how it still has the line across here? It didn't actually fully connect. So the key is to swoop along the edge and then swoop back down the edge. And you see that what happens is when you go along with those two edges, it grabs it and becomes one solid shape. So same thing here. I'm going to first select the shape. I'm going to go like this and make this thing have some like extra parts on it and then come back down and make it into a whole shape. And then I'm going to do this with my N as well. So I'm going to finish this one and go like this and come back up and come back down. So see, that second one didn't work because it still has a line across there. So you got to be careful to swoop with the edge, do your thing, and then swoop back down with the edge so it grabs. All right, so play with that one as well. And that is it for this tutorial. So hopefully that helped. You can go